Words here again. Just another little update. Well, there's a couple of things here. You don't immediately notice any difference, obviously, from the last video. But if I move, first off, the main thing that might be different is that I actually went ahead and gave myself 20 extra AP. The enemy doesn't have that. It's just so I can move faster, so I can escape from it. And actually, that might help with testing, I thought. So I did that. But let's see. Okay, I can't see the enemy. I move here, and then let's say I move back up this way. And now, see, as you can see, my AP reset this time to back up to my max. And the enemy, as you can see, moved without my even noticing. That's what I think I talked about that last video. That's what I was trying to set up this time. And so this is done, basically, as far as that. I mean, it works. As you can see, because as soon as I moved, if it weren't for this, I wouldn't be able to tell that it happened at all. The enemy would have just moved, and as far as I would have been concerned, there wouldn't be an enemy. So that's kind of cool. That's how I want that to work. I want it to be you just sort of outside of combat. If as far as you're concerned, you're not in combat, it needs to let you kind of move in real time. And then if there's enemies, they should they'll take their turn between your steps, between your move your turn, in between without your noticing. Basically, that's how I want it to work. So if my turn ends, the game object that controls everything goes through and actually loops through every single solitary other enemy that isn't visible and moves them. And if they are visible, it transfers control to that enemy, and I can show you that too. So. See, now he's visible. And if I end my turn now, he'll move like normal. Then if I move myself around this corner, bam, when he comes to be visible, he starts moving like normal again. And in fact, I can't go over anymore. If he's visible, it won't let me end my turn by moving, because that's just to keep the player. That'd be annoying if you knew there was an enemy there and you accidentally pressed a key and your character moved and that ended your turn and he walked up to you and killed you or something. That'd be annoying. I don't want that to work that way. Instead, I've got it to where if there's an enemy visible, you can't move until the basically just until you end your turn. Or, obviously, the other way would be if you take an action. Which there aren't any yet, so that doesn't work. But that's how that works. There's just a couple other things I want to do about this. The main thing, I might also go ahead and add in a second enemy just to, have some extra testing for this. But, I'd also like to... I wish I could, I guess... I feel like I should be able to make it so that the enemy goes from visible to invisible to visible again somehow at some point, just to test that. That should work. In theory, if there were an object between us and he moved such that he was visible and then he went behind it and became invisible, he should just kind of skip ahead to the next place where he is visible and become visible again and start moving normally again. In the code, as far as I can tell, that's how it works, but obviously I can't prove that with the way this is set up. Pretty much it's kind of not set up in a way that would make that work. But, yeah, it does work, though. It keeps... Ah! It's like Watson in that Sherlock Holmes game. Anyway, yeah, so basically what I need to do next is go ahead and actually add in the code to either... I want to make another enemy. I also want to make it so that if an enemy becomes visible, if I spot an enemy, then I want that enemy... I want to be... If I'm aware of an enemy, I want to enter a combat mode where I know that there's hostile enemies nearby, and then it needs to, and I also want to make it so that it actually leaves a visible marker, like a see-through version of the enemy where the enemy last was, so you could say, that's where the enemy was, where you last saw them, basically, which is going to be something. But that object, all the calculations, everything that the game does to determine whether or not something's visible, and for everything else that the game will eventually do but doesn't yet, it's going to use its grid position, not its actual X and Y position. So I should be able to just leave the enemy at that location, at its actual, the object's actual X and Y position, on in the actual room, I can just leave that there and make it see-through if it becomes visible, and then like if I move like that, it'll leave that object there, and instead of going completely invisible, it'll actually switch it to being see-through, and I'll say, oh, there's an enemy there. And that way, if I'm in combat though, if I know there's an enemy there, I don't accidentally, end my turn like that, and it comes up to me again and maybe attacks. I can say, oh, I'm out of moves. Okay, I should, draw my weapon, or I should, because I know I saw an enemy there. I walked out there and I saw, oh shit, saw an enemy, walked back maybe, and then after that, I want to draw my weapon, or I want to, I want to, prepare something, or like throw, a magical like attack at that position so it explodes and kills the enemy because I know it's around the corner, that sort of thing. That should be there. But that's what I'm going to do next, among some other things. Like I said, I might, expand this a bit, make, get like some more walls and stuff, and put in like a second enemy, because that should also work. I should be able to do that as the code is. I should actually be able to do that without any problem. And then from there, I'll make it so that I'll start to add in some of the other stuff, and we'll see where that goes. But and I'll get back to you on that when I've actually got it done. Yeah, I'll end this video.
Just a little change, really. You won't notice it yet. Come on, come out. There you are. Shit. Wait, there he goes. Okay, I changed it so that the enemy now remains. If you know that the enemy exists and you've seen them, you'll see a little marker basically where they last were. Right now he's still there because I can tell from the view finder, but as I move around... Oh, I gotta fix something else here. It's the checking whether or not you're in... Well, no, actually, the way I wanted it to work, this is about right. I was about to say there was a bug there, but actually no. This is fine. You can't actually, you can't move around, like you can't, accidentally move and end your turn as long as you know that an enemy exists. It's only going to set it, it's going to make it so that eventually, like, as long as there's any enemies around and they're visible at all, like, even if they're, just a figment of your imagination over here, you're going to not be able to move and end your turn like that. That way, once you're in combat and you know you're in combat, you don't accidentally do that at all, ever. This is what I'm hoping for. And then, so this way I could come around here, I'd be like, okay, okay. I can't move anymore. Let's ready a weapon or whatever, and then I can end my turn, and the guy will pop out over here because he moves over there. And I'm like, there he is. And I run back and attack him or whatever. So that's how that's working right now. Still, no real AI yet, but and obviously nothing to work off of for that anyway. So I'll have to get some groundwork in again. Still need to like put in more variables for like. Basically the beginnings of an inventory or something like that, or at least the basic idea of it in the AI's head maybe, like where it just sort of like pretends to look at whether or not you have like something equipped, that sort of thing, just to see if I can get it to where it'll check for threats in some way. I don't know. I don't know, really, do I? Because I haven't done it yet. I'll get back to you guys when I actually have done something again, like always. Small update, really. I haven't really changed too much. It tries to get to the correct, like the closest position to the player instead of to where the player is, and I've also made them solid again, I think, or maybe I switched that back. I was kind of having there was a bug that was kind of causing me a ton of problems, and I wasn't able to find this bug, and for like an age, like for the last like hour or maybe an hour and a half, I've been working on this one bug that I was getting that was freezing the game. So I wasn't able to record, I wasn't able to test this and try to figure out what was wrong with it and try to get it to work. And by the way, it doesn't. As you can see, like the closest position is this, and he's going to here for some reason. So I need to debug that code still, but it's a start. So I wanted to go ahead and make a video because I'm out of time. So I need to have one. So I don't really have much to say about this. I mean, all it does is it tries to loop through all of the positions around him and figure out which one's closest, and then try to go to that. Eventually, there might be the possibility of you being, say, stuck in a corner and maybe surrounded by enemies, and then another enemy wants to get to you, and they're going to be like, well, I can't move to any of these positions, and that'll cause you problems eventually. So I'll need to, I'll need to have like an option for basically I'll have to have some way for it to like kind of like say, okay, all these spaces are taken, so I need to move to a close space like a little further out, That is not, looking at him through a wall or something. I don't know. I mean, there'll have to be basically I'll have to get to where it'll try to do that. I'll have to get it to where it kind of like ends up saying, okay, well, path to that position, ignore the fact that there's a solid thing there, and just get to that position, like get as close as you can, and then just stop instead. Maybe, I don't know, and just end your turn there. That's something that's for a while. That's not gonna happen at all. I mean, yet. I might just need to go ahead and add in some more enemy objects to like test that sort of thing and like start to debug that and get that to work correctly. But for now, I'm just out of time. I gotta go ahead and render these videos and get them uploaded into one video for today. So I normally do. I have more time. I did some stuff yesterday that ended up. Well, I wasted a lot of time yesterday. Well, not wasted necessarily. I got made a bunch of videos. I spent a lot of time editing another video and trying to make. These aren't excuses. These are facts. Damn it. And but yeah, I need to fix this. It doesn't work too well just yet. Yeah, I don't like it. Just and now he's moving to my position again. Oh, and now he's not. See, yeah, that's no good. Somehow I think it was because I was on the other side. See, this is the sort of thing I need to like. Oh, yep. See, he's pathing to my position. Oops, I don't know how that happened. Yep. So yeah, lots of things I have to debug about that. Still, I'll do that. I'll make this video. I'll get it all together. We'll get this one uploaded. You'll have a video today at the usual time. The new usual time, so it's not even the usual time yet, but whatever. And then we'll put that out there, and then I'll go ahead and I'll go straight into fixing this, I think, basically. Other than some other minor real-life things I might have to do, like go to work. But basically, I'm going to go straight into fixing this as soon as I can. We're gonna get that working for the next video. It'll work. It's possible. It shouldn't be too big of a deal. The way I've got it working now, I think, makes a certain amount of sense, but yeah, I just need to debug it and get it to make sure, go run through the logic a few times and see exactly what it's doing and make sure that it's doing it right. But thanks for watching. See you guys next week, and I'll have more important and super cool things like pathing and stuff, super entertaining things like that next time too. But make sure to keep watching for more updates on this. It's gonna get exciting. I swear to it. I don't. That's don't worry about it. But yeah, thanks for watching anyway.